Hello there. And welcome to the third installment of Christmas Countdown. We're going to have a look at the weather for Christmas with the extended CFSB2 model for the third time in the Christmas Countdown. Not been a tremendously successful countdown to Christmas so far, but we've still got plenty of time to do some updates. So we're doing update number 3 for you right now. So sit back, relax, enjoy, get yourself a mince pie, a glass of mulled wine, and I shall get on with your third installment of Christmas Countdown in a moment. To say thank you so much to Ricardo. So to Richard Shaw for our lovely Christmas Updates gift. We've actually got 2 Christmas Updates gifts, so I'm going to reveal the next one on the 4th update. But thank you so much to Richard Shaw for the gift there. Right, okay, well, let's move over to Metacella.fr, shall we? Get rid of those tabs there. And here we go then. So, of course, we're looking at the CFSB212's there. Model. We're looking to try and find the train within model. It's much too far away to be able to tell you what weather we'll be doing at 3 p.m. on Christmas afternoon. This is simply for fun and maybe, try and see if we can find a train within the CFS V2 model. I think the first couple of updates, update number 1 was quite interesting. It was a bit colder, I think, especially into the new year and early January. Last update, I think, was generally quite a mild one. Right, well, let's have a look then. So you're going to begin on the 1st of September. Of course, as we get close to Christmas, the time frame for all of this will narrow down. Well, that's another thing to put on the table until we get just a couple of days before Christmas, and then we'll be doing, we'll pick it up with a 6M forecast, I suppose. Right, okay, so 1st of December, low pressure to the north, bringing in a westerly flow from off the Atlantic, mild, wet and windy, moving through the first week of December. We find the wind turning into the north, so a little bit of cold snap there around the, hold on. Still sore with a ribs. A little bit of cold snap there with winds in from north very briefly, but then we're back into those long fetch southwest winds, gale force winds, bringing up very mild air from the Azores, and it stays wet and windy, turning a little bit cooler just into start the second week of December. All Atlantic driven, all low pressure. Low pressure. Okay, well, that's a little bit more interesting. That's a 10th to 11%, but rather more of a southerly tracking low then. So that does allow some rather colder air to begin to filter in from the north. But essentially, the areas of low pressure remain in control. Very, very, very cyclonic here. Second week of December, or middle part of December. So that's the 15th under a big area of low pressure. It's a flabby low, so not like a dartboard low, but really low pressure. With that, but jet stream has gone southwards throughout the second week of December, so we're on the cold side of the jet, but we're not especially cold as we're not really bringing in the air from a true Arctic source, but a little bit colder, probably enough hill snow up in the north and whatnot. Right, well, let's start heading up towards Christmas then. So into the second half of December now. So rather chilly. Next area of low pressure sitting to the southwest approaches. That looks like our name on it. And this is a bit more interesting. So we're moving towards Christmas now. And the low pressure on a southerly track. So we are probably now starting to bring in some quite cold air to the north. So on the northern side of this low, I would imagine it is pretty cold in the northern half of the country. Snow for Scotland, and probably snow on the boundary between the milder and the colder air there. And that would be particularly for northern England. Of course, those battle lines could be drawn anywhere, basically. That low gets out of the way, and as we approach Christmas, we turn colder. Winds are turning into the north-northeast. That will bring overnight frost and a definite risk of snow showers into northern and also eastern parts of the country. So is this going to maintain cold weather for Christmas? I don't think so. The high pressure slipping southwards down towards Biscay. So only a brief cold snap there. And then we're back into those milder southwests. Or are we? Because it looks like high pressure is trying to get going over Scandinavia there on the eve of Christmas Eve on 23rd of December. I don't think that's going to be coming off. Well, that's Christmas Eve. High pressure is to the south. Low pressure is to the northwest. And we bring up a southwesterly flow. So that's a mild, or potentially very mild, Christmas Eve. That is Christmas Day for the third Christmas update. Again, it's a case of high pressure south, low pressure to the north, flats pancake, mild, mainly dry in the south, could be some rain up in the north. The main thing with that is like, it's a proper mild Christmas Day. Again, how many have we had since December to remember in 2010? Most of them. I mean, they've all been mild, haven't they? Maybe there was a cold, what was it, cold in 2020, possibly, but like, I don't know. That looks like a very mild Christmas Day again. Anyway, with temperature probably into double digits, maybe even into the teens in some places. And that's Boxing Day. So, like, the weather system comes across country Thursday, Friday, probably brings, what am I talking about? Christmas Day to Boxing Day, brings some rain with it, and then it turns a little bit cooler and fresher, but it's all Atlantic driven stuff. So we're back into the cosh of the low pressures again as we get towards the new year. Mild, wet and windy with those areas of low driving in from the Atlantic. That's New Year's Eve, so again looking very unsettled, lots of wet weather down in the south, a little bit colder up in the north maybe, and that's New Year's Day, so slightly colder on New Year's Day, but not a fundamentally cold pattern at all. Let's go through early January before we go. So low pressure pushing across the northern half of the country, bringing outbreaks of rain, maybe turning a bit drier and colder under that little ridge of high pressure. Right, well, that's a bit more interesting. So 6th of January, start to try and raise the heights up towards Iceland and bring the wind around to more of an easterly. So becoming colder through the first week of January after all of that mild weather in December. Turns colder, could be some snow into the north, overnight frost as well. Is that going to last? Well, we bring the wind around to more of a southerly there into the second week of January. That's probably quite a cold southerly initially, could be snow in the transition, but the low pressure and the Atlantic is winning the battle here. So, as we go further on through January, looking generally mild, wet and windy. That gets us to the 18th. Absolutely no sign of anything particularly cold up to that point. Right, well, not the most exciting of updates for cold is. But then again, we're still a long way off from Christmas, and there'll be several twists and turns before we go. But we definitely file this one under a mild or even a very mild Christmas for the third Christmas update from Gaz. Well, it's 2025. We'll be back with another one later on in the week. So keep checking back to the channel for more. But for this one, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday evening. And that's it then. So, well, thanks so much to Richard for the gift, by the way. And, well, we'll end it there. So sorry, everyone. We'll end it there. Have a good evening. Bye for now.